First, a minute or so on Bible study again. I hope you're reading your Bible, and if you do read your Bible, you will readily experience that not everything in the Bible agrees with everything else. There is not a logical chronology in the Bible. But remember, the Bible is not a storybook. It's a library. Not every book in the library agrees with other books. That's the Bible. I often have people say that I read the whole Bible from beginning to end, or I participated, Bible in a year. They don't know what they're talking about because they're looking at the Bible as a storybook. It's not. It's a library. So today, the reason I bring this up is today we have a classic example. The first reading and the gospel was written by the same person, St. Luke. He doesn't even agree with himself. In the gospel reading, the end of the gospel, according to St. Luke, Jesus ascended into heaven on Easter, what we call Easter Sunday, or at best the day after. In the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles, Jesus hung around for 40 days and then ascended into heaven. He probably changed it for certain reasons that we don't know, but again, don't try to harmonize that. I want to make a few comments about what we are experiencing as a nation because of Texas and down at the Deer District they were shooting and so on. The violence going on in our society. Now, some of you may know Father Tom Suriano. He's a much better preacher than I am. And he always says, I don't want to tell you what to think, but I hope I can give you something to think about. So in my prayer and meditation reflection these last weeks, my thought is that, and especially on Memorial Day weekend when we treasure our freedoms, and how many people have given their lives so that we would have freedoms, my meditation is that most of us humans cannot handle total freedom. I got some examples. Food. How many people can handle the correct consumption of food? One of our biggest problems in society is obesity. Food, drink, liquor, one of our freedoms. But how many people can't handle that freedom? Drugs. I'm talking about prescription drugs now. We think that we can take a pill for any pain. And then street drugs, how easily we can get hooked into that. Another freedom. With our phones, how many people can't handle their iPhones, their iPads? They're addicted to it. They're no longer free. Our computers, the websites, social media, pornography. You can get onto websites that don't do you any good, but so many people can't resist that. Buying things. How many of us buy on impulse? Oh, we see something, we want it. After a while, it's put into storage or we throw it away. Credit cards, another freedom. But how many people can handle that? Pay them off every month, etc. And now guns. One side of the debate says, take guns away from everybody. The other side says, give everybody a gun. I think if we're honest, every one of us has one of those freedoms that we have trouble controlling. And again, I don't have the answers. It's just part of my prayer and meditation. I'm an old farmer, you know, and on the farm we have a saying, give a calf enough rope and they'll hang themselves. Please pray or think about that. Today's gospel and first reading is about Jesus handing over his message to his disciples. He's leaving, but he wants somebody to continue that. We're the disciples today. And I've used this example so often. Think about football, the center and the quarterback. How often they practice that and how often they fumble. People with businesses start a business and they want to give it to their children and the children squander it. Or how many people have a great inheritance? They've saved up, they give it to the children waste it. Handing on the message. That's what we're called to do. Now, the message of Jesus, remember, not only includes his teachings, but his values, his vision of life, and so on. And we're called to carry that on. Pope Francis, he wrote this, The Joy of the Gospel, 9 years ago. He says this: all the baptized, whatever their position in the church or their level of instruction in their faith, are agents of evangelization, and would be insufficient to envision the plan of evangelization to be carried out just by professionals, while the rest of the faithful would simply be passive recipients. Now, everybody gets nervous about evangelization because we think we got to go door to door, knock on doors and tell people about Jesus and hand out leaflets. You don't have to do that. If we really live the values of Jesus, it will be obvious to people who watch us. The way we live, the way we spend our money, the way we respond to charity. Can you receive the message, and can we live it out? St. Francis is supposed to have said, preach the gospel always, but if you have to, use words. We preach it by our lifestyle and our attitudes and our words. Part of the problem, I think, is that over 2,000 years, we have changed the message of Jesus for our own benefit. Please think about it. What was Jesus' main message? Was it not to help others? Respond to their needs, the sick, the imprisoned, the lonely, the naked, the hungry? What have we done with the message? We've turned it around so that it becomes my personal salvation and my personal conversion. I don't think that's Jesus' main teaching. If you could be assured that you're going to go to heaven, no question, and if we really understood what heaven is, I think we would go overboard being good evangelizers of the message of Jesus. It's because we think we have to earn it that we forget about the real message. Back when I was young, the greatest mode of transportation was the stagecoach. I don't know if when you rode the stagecoach, there were 3 classes of tickets: first class, second class, third class. First class ticket is you got a seat on the stagecoach, and you didn't have to get out regardless of what happened. Second class ticket, you got a seat on the stagecoach, but if something happened, you had to get out. If they got stuck in the mud or couldn't go up a hill or wheel came off, you had to get out, but you just could stand along the side and watch. Third class ticket is if something happened, you had to get out and you had to fix it. If it was stuck in the mud, you had to push it or up the hill or fix the wheel. The problem is in the church, we have first class members. They want a seat. They want to be pampered to. They don't want to do anything. Second class, they get out and they watch others do it. And they complain about what's being done. And if they don't like it, they walk away. Third class people are people who get out and they help with the problem. They're the real evangelizers of the message of Jesus. That's what we need. More third-class Catholics. A man once told a pastor joining the parish, he said, "I came here to be fed. Can you feed me?" And the pastor said, "You need to take off your bib and put on an apron."